What's up, guys? That wraps up day 33. I spent 2 hours with my YouTube stuff and played 6.5 hours of poker, and poker has been a bit frustrating this week. Right now I'm $700 below the math, which would be much needed money right now. And yesterday it was getting to the point where I was getting so frustrated that it made me just want to quit poker and start looking for jobs and give up. And that happens a lot for me. And I know that it's more about a lack of confidence than anything else. It's having these negative beliefs when all the evidence points to the contrary. So for example, when I go online, there are players that are winning players. Some of them are full-time players that are playing. And many of them, I'll play them and they'll leave, and then I get to play by myself. So at least for the stakes that I play, I'm pretty good enough that other full-time players kind of leave me to myself and I make more money by doing that. But I'll play some weak players, recreationals, and they'll make a bunch of bad plays that work out in the short term. And it takes almost nothing for me to just start to doubt myself and doubt my edge. And so yesterday while I was playing, instead of just giving up and being frustrated that things weren't working out, I started to think about how it's time to start building stable confidence. There's an interesting concept in Atomic Habits that talks about the highest level of a habit is basically when it becomes an identity. So for example, someone who wants to lose weight and they say, okay, I don't eat after 7 p.m. or I don't eat, dessert after meals or whatever. And for me, I need to come up with one that is something to the effect of when a YouTube video doesn't do well or when poker doesn't go well, I have an identity statement that I say. So for example, I say, I only focus on playing good, or I don't focus on short-term results. And I'm hoping that by doing this, it allows me to not get so caught up in a few games winning or losing. Because yesterday I was down I was up a couple $100, and then I was down a couple $100, and then I finished the day maybe up a little bit. And it shouldn't matter. I feel like my confidence sort of ebbs and flows with how poker is going. If I'm running really well, I feel excited, like this is finally gonna work. When I start running bad, I find myself not only doubting my abilities, but start thinking about the exit strategy of taking some safer path or just giving up, basically. And it's something that I've kind of always struggled with. I've struggled with it in chess. If I'm, when I've gotten my rating into like the 1700s and I would lose to a 1600, I would be like, well, there you go. I'm obviously not as good as I thought. And the same things have happened in YouTube. When a video doesn't do well, it's really difficult for me to just accept the fact that not every video is going to do well. I've looked at really good baseball YouTube channels that get 200,000 views pretty much consistently, but when you go and look at their worst videos, they're still 2,000, 1,000 view videos, meaning like 1% of their audience watched that video. 1% of their subscribers watched that video. And I would bet if you asked them, when you made that video, did you get really down on yourself? They'd probably say no. I put the video out, I tried my best, I'm happy with it, and then they move on. But I sort of get really high when a video does 10,000 views and gets 50 subscribers. And when it gets 35 views, it sits with me for a few days and it really makes me doubt the whole process. So I'm gonna start working on those identity goals. I'll make one for videography. I just focus on taking the best shots I can. I just try to make videos that I think are interesting, and hopefully you guys do too. Atomic Habits is honestly one of my favorite books. I only found out about it last year. I read The Power of Habit, and for some reason I kind of got those two books mistaken. One of my cousins and my brother both were mentioning things in it, and once I read it, there's a lot of things that I was already kind of doing, but he just simplifies performance in such an interesting way, and a simple way, really, like straightforward, where an identity statement actually works. I've been using them for other things. I use it for baseball sometimes. You know, I just try to throw strikes, or I just swing at good pitches, or I don't get frustrated. I just try to hit the ball hard. You can pretty much use them for anything that has an outcome, a desired outcome, right? So you use them for golf. I just try to take good swings. Simple as that. And the more that you say it, the more your brain just starts to believe it or tries to act in accordance with it. So that's all I got for today. Subscriber count, I think we only went up 1, but got 8.5 hours of productive stuff done. I think I'm only 15 hours behind on the poker, and I'm gonna try not to focus so much on the individual days. I told you guys I'm focused on day 90, and it's nice to say that, but in the heat of the moment, sometimes I can find myself getting a bit scared of the results in the short term. Just, I'm human, right? So anyways, that's all I got for day 33. Catch you guys tomorrow.